The time when red spider lilies wilt. A house at dusk, with the sound of the still new curtains swaying in the wind. This is the house in the countryside where 27-year-old Yoichi has newly moved to escape the hustle and bustle of the city. In 1997, in late September, when the summer heat still lingers a little, the country roads are covered with bright red spider lilies. Yoichi had moved to Tokyo after graduating from university, but he was tired of city life and decided to make a fresh start and start a new life in the countryside. The house he moves into is an old wooden building on the outskirts of town. He was introduced to the house by a real estate agent he stopped by. The house looks 50 years old, but there is something quaint about it, and Yoichi immediately likes it. However, for some reason, the house had a lot of mirrors in every room. At first this didn't bother him, but gradually strange phenomena began to occur. Entering the house, Yoichi looks around the living room. The air is a little damp, and Yoichi holds his nose while he opens the window to ventilate. As Yoichi explores the house, he notices that there are mirrors in the dimly lit corridors and on the walls of the stairs. All the mirrors are surrounded by old frames and have a somehow dark atmosphere. In the bedroom there was a large mirror that reflected the whole body. The frame is red and creepy. As Yoichi stares at his reflection in the mirror, he realizes that the fatigue of the move is showing on his face. Every time he looked in the mirror, he felt that his expression was changing to one of anxiety and fear, but Yoichi, who was actually tired from the moving process, decided to finish the moving process early before the sun set. In the evening, as the sun was setting, Yoichi fell asleep in his bedroom, exhausted. In the middle of the night, Yoichi wakes up to feel something in front of him. In the darkness, he stares at his reflection in his bedroom mirror. Then, he sees himself in the mirror, smiling slowly. Yoichi stiffens in fear. He rubs his eyes and looks in the mirror again, but there is nothing strange. Except that there is a woman right behind Yoichi. Startled, Yoichi covered the mirror with a cloth to hide it, covered his head with a blanket and closed his eyes tightly. The next morning, with the cloth-covered mirror by his side, he recalled last night. He did not dare to remove the cloth. Having just moved in, Yoichi leaves his house to greet his neighbors. The neighbors greet Yoichi warmly, but look uneasy about his house. They are told that the house has long been rumored to be haunted by misfortune. However, nobody knows the specific reason. Yoichi was curious about the identity of the female spirit that appeared in the mirror. He likes the house itself, although he thinks it would be better if he moved out immediately. I thought I would find out the identity and history if I could, and then decide whether or not to move. Start researching about the history of the home and rumors about the area. As he gathered information from the library and the internet, he learned that a certain mirror maker used to live in Yoichi's house. One evening, Yoichi summons up the courage to stand in front of the mirror again, hoping to ask her directly. Behind Yoichi stood a woman, unchanged. Yoichi's body stiffens again in fear. Her expression is hidden by her hair. She has pale, bloodless skin and is standing right behind Yoichi, motionless. He tries to speak to her in the mirror, but there is no response. Around that time, strange events start happening around him one after another. The door to his room opens by itself in the middle of the night and noises are heard. Mysterious footsteps are sometimes heard in the house, and Yoichi is terrified. Even through the curtains at night, he feels as if someone is watching him. He spends sleepless days and is growing tired. These days, he spends his days somewhat absent-minded, as if his feet are not on the ground. Despite his fear, Yoichi tries to uncover the truth about the mirror. He works with a local antiquities dealer to discover the skills and secrets of the mirror craftsman who made the mirror in his home. However, as he gets closer to the truth, Yoichi is in danger. One night, when Yoichi removes the cloth from the mirror, the spirit of a woman is still there. However, she suddenly disappears. Soon after, more powerful and evil spirits begin to appear in Yoichi's house. The door opens by itself, dishes fall from the cupboard and make a loud noise. Yoichi gradually becomes unable to bear the fear and tries to break the mirror. However, the mirror shows no sign of breaking. He calls his family and friends for help, but his phone doesn't work and the front door won't open. Yoichi is isolated. He stayed in his room and pounded on the mirror with his fists. He kept pounding on the mirror every day, thinking that breaking it would break the curse. How much time had passed? A week? A month? Yoichi's hand no longer felt pain. The mirror had turned red. And he could not break the mirror until the end. He had used up all his strength. Yoichi was found in front of the mirror, his face violently distorted by fear. After that, the house became infamous and no one would go near it. The mirror maker's curse has still not been lifted, and it is said that every time a red spider lily blooms, the screams of those who have suffered the same unfortunate fate as Yoichi can be heard. And as the petals of the red spider lily fall, new victims appear.